Hey, awesome people! Congratulations! You have survived 2020, and it's hard to say what 2021 will have in store for us. But for now, we are here with a list of weirdest things that happened in 2020. Besides the pandemic, of course. Let's check out if Nostradamus could have predicted this. Monkeys stormed this city. As the world began to go into a lockdown in March 2020 and deal with the consequences of COVID-19, animals who had no clue what was going on began to reclaim their rightful place on planet Earth. Internet was buzzing with videos of marine life returning to the canals of Venice and an elephant strolling on the empty streets of Wayanad in Kerala. Amidst this, a footage of monkeys storming and taking over a city in Thailand was terrifying and quite frankly adorable. In fact, a few days later, the local police in Lopburi, Thailand confirmed the news and claimed that the monkeys had truly taken over the city and trying to stop them was hopeless. Name that baby. Earlier in 2020, the CEO of Tesla, Elon Musk, announced the birth of his son in a post on Twitter, revealing the name he and his singer partner had intentionally and thoughtfully chosen. His son was called X-A12. They even broke down the meaning of the name for intrigued fans. This name became a topic of much debate on social media. An unusual flight journey. Because of the dramatic drop in air travel due to COVID-19 travel restrictions, the airlines have been forced to improvise their products and services to encourage passengers to travel. The Australian airline Qantas offered and released tickets for a 7-hour flight to nowhere and was sold out in 10 minutes. Customers were offered a chance to take off from Sydney, fly around the sights of Australia, and even travel to Antarctica without leaving the plane and landing back in Sydney with no stops whatsoever. And guess what? Bizarrely, it became the fastest-selling flight in Qantas history. Rivers waterfall in Australia. 2020 has been a year of lots of weird weather-based occurrences. This is a year where rivers in Arizona ran black with highly destructive sludge and spooky red blood snow stained the Antarctic Peninsula. However, we are baffled by the waterfalls that went backwards in Australia. As Sydney and surrounding areas were battered by heavy rains and strong winds, several waterfalls in the Royal National Park in Sydney started to be blown backwards, creating a gravity-defying reverse waterfall. A cure for HIV? If we have to round up the science moments of 2020, COVID-19 dominated science coverage in 2020 and rightly so. Companies and scientists across the globe gave a ray of hope to many by developing COVID-19 vaccines in record time. And another moment worth mentioning is about the London patient cured of HIV. In March 2020, a man named Adam Castillejo, or the London patient as he was known as, underwent stem cell transplant treatment and after 30 months of it became only the second person in the world to be cured of HIV. Timothy Brown, also known as the Berlin patient, recovered from HIV in 2011 following similar treatment, making doctors believe that HIV does have a cure. Fashion flash. The fashion trends that made headlines this year were as weird as the year itself. some of the weirdest viral fashion trends included diamond and gold face masks, noodle shoes, face mask accessories, and blue light filtering computer glasses. And since majority of 2020 was spent indoors, we are pretty sure if you were working from home, then you have probably done this too. Contact with aliens? In what was one of the most underreported news of 2020, the US Department of Defense approved the official release of 3 Navy videos on the internet. These videos, captured by naval aviators, show unidentified objects flying through the sky, and pilots can be heard expressing confusion. These objects could either be a breakout technology from other nations to threaten the US or an evidence of alien objects. Food that made news. With the lockdown in place, most people wore their chef's hat and dedicated 2020 to cooking, baking, and took to their kitchens. This gave birth to many mouth-watering dishes that trended on Instagram and some most bizarre food combos that could shudder anyone's taste buds. Presenting Maggi Pani Puri, Chocolate Maggi, Nutella Biryani, Chocolate Fried Chicken, and the list goes on. So guys, hope you enjoyed our recap of the most bizarre events of 2020 besides the pandemic, of course, a year that reduced people to fighting over toilet paper and introduced us all to a new normal world. What is your prediction for 2021? Let us know in the comments section below. If you enjoyed watching this video, do give us a like and subscribe to our channel. Keep watching The Off Factory for more.